Deceptions run from the outright obvious and outrageous to the subtle and unsuspecting. His biggest trick is to get people to believe he doesn't exist or to believe in a lack of personal accountability for one's own actions. From his rhetoric, you hear echoing through the gullible God as an all-loving God, that he would never condemn anyone, or that God is a force, not a personal being, or God is in everything and is everything. They'll see exactly who he is at the great white throne judgment for many of them. There can be no love without justice. And just as there is a right and wrong, there is reward or condemnation. There is a heaven and a hell. There is a God and a devil. They are literal and real beings, and they are not metaphors. And that's one of his biggest gimmicks of the hour right now, is to tell people, oh, God is a God of love. He would never judge you for doing bad things. They totally take away accountability. They want you to think about accountability. A God of love would never hold somebody accountable. What they can't see is that if he is a God of justice, if he is a God of love, he must be a God of justice. It's both. For every positive there is a negative. For every good there is an evil. There is always light and dark. There's always an opposite effect to everything, and the opposite adversary in this one is Satan. He's fooled so many people into thinking that, and you'll hear his rhetoric all over the place about how people have just given up on the entire idea because the churches certainly don't teach hell and brimstone anymore. It's a feel-good theology. They don't talk about sin. They don't talk about accountability. They don't talk about hell. Those kinds of teachings don't make them a lot of money. People want self-help psychology or buying the next rapture book on some false date they can dream up for a pre-trib rapture. That's why so many Christians have gone to sleep in these last days, because they don't think evil or bad things will happen in America before they're raptured out. They're sure they have a rapture train on the way out of here before anything bad hits America. And they're going to be surprised. They're going to be surprised, folks. But what I want to talk about is Satan's army and how he's using today both the demonic and the alien realms to fulfill his purposes in deceiving mankind. Aliens have bodies. Some are humanoid, meaning they look human, while others are grotesque, such as the Greys, reptilians, the Mothmen, etc. I have written about why they have differences in other articles. You can go to aliensinthenews.com, look in the articles section, or SherryTalkRadio.com, and look in my articles section. Demons don't have physical bodies capable of being seen in this 3D realm. Earth is a 3D realm. The spiritual realm is the fourth realm. Is what we refer to as the fourth realm. And so just the same, even the fourth realm demons are the most grotesque creatures you can imagine. They make the Greys and the reptilians and all them look heavenly compared to what they look like. Many look like animals, feature characteristics of animals. They look like imps, or orangutans, or ferrets, or anteaters. Just variations, and as ugly a variation as you can imagine. The lower-ranking demons all resemble these animals. And the higher-ranking ones are taller and can resemble Darth Vader. These types of demons are referred to as the Black Phantoms. There are small and they are huge Black Phantoms. They range in height. They look like the black shadows. Some of you may see at night when you're sleeping. The huge ones being the Darth Vader kind and the Grim Reaper kinds. The taller they are, the more power and rank in Satan's kingdom for the demonic realm. Many of the taller ones serve as generals, or what they call as gatekeepers, in the demonic realm or in hell even. Demons can operate without obtaining a physical body of some type, but it's their advantage to be able to possess humans so they can destroy them more easily. And that's pretty much for all of the lower-ranking demons. What they want to do is possess humans. Most humans who are possessed don't know they are. In this way, the demons can lead that person more easily into sin, apostasy, false beliefs, false religions, atheism, agnosticism, Satanism, Luciferianism, the New Age, and much more. One of the biggest tricks of theologians today is to convince Christians that they can't be possessed by demons. And that's not true. Christians today are heavily possessed by demons. If you're going to a beast prophet, such as Kenneth Copeland or Benny Hinn or Pat Robertson for deliverance, they're putting demons into you. They're not casting them out of you. They put them into you. And so a lot of Christians under illusion, delusion, deceit, deceptions, and lies, and then they can't figure out what's wrong with them, why they don't feel this great relationship with the Lord like they feel that they should have. You know, how come they don't have what the Benny Hinns and the Kenneth Copelands have, and they keep giving them their money? You know, that's the whole point. These kinds of prophets fleece the people. They don't feed the people. They're there to destroy you. They're Satan's generals in human bodies. They're fulfilling Satan's agenda to deceive as many Christians as possible. And so one of their biggest deceptions and tactics is just to always make you think something's impossible or something doesn't exist, and so they don't have you thinking about it. You know, Satan is targeting humans for possession and control. And there are ways demons can take over human bodies and fully possess them, giving them the ability to operate on earth in human form. You know, one of these ways I spoke of was zombies, and this is going to become more dominant in the tribulation period, where you're going to see a lot more of this phenomenon called zombies. And what these are reanimated human bodies. A person that has died, and then his body is brought back to life without his soul in it, and the body is possessed by a demonic being that gives what appears to be life to the body. These zombies don't appear to be able to think or behave as normal human beings, thus the term zombies. And this is going to become more dominant in the tribulation period, folks. Another one that's gaining more momentum in these last days, and probably more dominant in the tribulation period, is vampires. You know, there's two levels of vampirism. The first level is the introductory level, where initiates begin to drink blood and show an interest in vampirism. And people attracted to the Gothic underworld or lifestyle are targeted as initiates for this. The second level, in theory, is the death of the human to be brought back to life or resurrected as a vampire. You know, in practice, the person is most likely soul scalped, and instead of dying, the soul is taken elsewhere and held prisoner in the astral realm, while a demonic being takes over the person's body with the capability of being able to play the role of that person in society. Now, this will also become more dominant during the tribulation period, and even now there is an increase in this Gothic type of underground that features vampirism among the youth today. What they basically tell these people when they bring them in, at the first level to be initiates, is that in order to become a full-blown vampire, they get a taste of it at the first level. They start drinking blood. They start experiencing what it might like to be a vampire. And then they tell them in order to become a full-blown vampire that they have to die. They go through this initiation, what they call it, is dying and then coming back to life, being resurrected as a vampire. And basically what happens at that point is a demonic entity is going to take over that person's soul at that point. It's almost like the same phenomenon with werewolves, where humans can become werewolves. It's demons that cause the shape-shifting from a human changing into a werewolf. And the same thing with the vampirism. It's demons that cause this lust for blood drinking, that take over the person's body and turn them into vampires. Another way that demons can possess humans is through fetal abductions. Another way is taking the soul out of a baby that perhaps isn't even born yet, still in its mother's uterus, and replacing it with a demonic spirit. Pregnant women have been abducted by UFOs, and they claim they've seen aliens take the soul out of their unborn baby and replace it with something else. So definitely something happened. If you've given birth to a child, you swear, my